Good morning. We're here in Fearrington with Farmer Bob. I am the president currently of the Fearrington Garden Club, and we're very excited to be able to have this presentation available to you on your computer. So stay tuned, and I hope you enjoy it.
Good morning, everyone. As you heard a while ago, my name is Farmer Bob. That's what the kids call me. I've been called other things besides Farmer Bob. But anyway, I want to start off with a sort of a cute little joke. I got to read it because it's a pretty long joke, but not that long. And I'm to that stage now in my life, even though it's in big print. A farmer had been taken several times by the local car dealer. One day the dealer informed the farmer that he was coming over to purchase a cow. The farmer priced his unit as follows. The basic cow package is $499.95. Shipping and handling is $35.75. The extra stomach is $79.25. The two-tone exterior is $142.10. Produce storage compartment, $126.50. Heavy-duty straw chopper, $189.60. 4 high-output drain systems, $149.20. Automatic fly swatter, $88.50. Genuine cowhide upholstery, $79.90. Deluxe dual horns, $59.25. An automatic fertilizer attachment, $339.40. 4x4 four-wheel drive assembly, $884.16. Pre-delivery wash and comb, $69.80. Suggested retail price, $2,843.36. Additional dealer's adjustment, $300. Total package price, $3,143.36. So next time y'all buying a cow or something, remember what you're going to get, you know? I get these every week. It's a sales catalog with farmers going out of business. Dairy farmers, chicken farmers, hog farmers. I don't get those, but I know people that are going out of business. It's not caused the pandemic. They've never stopped raising the produce. It's because the farmer is not getting paid what he needs to get paid. He gets paid, and y'all are not the problem. It's the people that's buying their product that's making the money. That $17 a pound steak that you bought last week, or $6 a pound hamburger, the farmer got a very minute portion of that. So in order for him to make some money, he does in a greater volume. Question. How many eggs do y'all think y'all eat a year? And you may be allergic to them, so the question don't apply to you.
800.
No, it's a little, I thought I was more in your line, I thought it would be, and some people probably do, but the average, anywhere from 279 to 300 eggs a year. Now you multiply that, how many people in the world, a whole lot of eggs. How many pounds of ice cream do you think we eat? I said, no, that's not me. I eat quite a bit more than that if I can get a hold of it. 19 pounds. Dairy products in general, that's cheese, sour cream, stuff like that, and butter. 276 pounds of butter a year each person eats. How many pounds of milk? 199, 200 pounds of milk. And how much red meat do we eat? Some may not, some may be vegetarians, but the average American eats red meat. 221 pounds and 2/10 of a pound. So you put that in perspective, the cage farmers have to exist. Now, you probably don't think as a dairy being caged, but in a sense it is. They're on confinement. Very few dairies have walkouts where they can go and actually hit the dirt anymore. That's how much milk they got to have. The average milk cow today will produce right at 80 pounds of milk a day. Some will produce more, some a little less, but the average is 80 pounds a day. Most dairymen are milking at least 3 times a day. It keeps mastitis down, keeps the cattle cleaner. My cousin runs Maple View Dairy. He's half owner up there in Chapel Hill, Orange County. So I get a little earful there once in a while when I talk to him. I learn a little bit. So all this plays in perspective of our everyday life. So by all means, your local farmers that be here today, by all means support them. But please remember the cage farmers also, because they're in New York City feeding them, those people. Chicago, Atlanta, Raleigh, Charlotte. We have to have those. So don't be as a group of people as we are here. I know we think, I still remember the cow that was on TV and they was pushing it to the slaughter. Well, the cow couldn't get up. Yes, it was a bad thing, but it was going to get killed because it couldn't travel no more. It probably failed sometime. That's the reason the dairyman had brought the cow to the plant to be processed because she broke her hip. Instead of putting her down, in that sense, he could get some money back to help support him and his family in his operation. But yes, that was bad. Well, we'll get to the cows in a minute. The approximately 1.2 million farmers in the United States, that's all we are. 1.2 million compared to the population. Now, when I say farmers, I'm talking from row cropping, which is corn, tobacco, to the dairy part, chickens, hogs. That's all farmers included in that. Even these farmers here that come to our local farm, they're included in that. So it's a very small community that we have for as farmers. Here, talking about Fearrington now, we have approximately 21 head. We are downsizing. There's going to be some more development here, but it'll always be cows here, goats, chickens, and a couple of donkeys if they keep on behaving themselves. Charlotte's she's not very nice to us right now. But anyway, I think she's the one that's been running when my bulls get fighting. She's in this pen over this 14-acre pasture, and they've got out several times. And donkeys don't like to see something in controversy. They like to break it up. So when I had 2 bulls over there, I think she was the one running the bulls out of the pasture. And not just out of the pasture, on through the fence. She don't breaking it up. But so I'm fixing to put some more cattle over. I want to find out if that's what she's doing. If they start getting out, then I know that's what's happening. Jasper don't have enough get up and go. She does. She's very, very mobile. Everything's good. We just weaned calves this week. We're going to keep 7 heifers. We're going to keep at least 2 to 3 of those heifers for replacements. And some of the other cows, I hope we sell some more private treaty. Since the market is down, the cattle hadn't been sold as much as we'd like to be, but that's part of it. That's about all I have to say. Do y'all have any questions?
So how many Galloways did you have in the beginning?
We run anywhere from 30 to 40 head. When they were more popular, And they're still popular, don't get me wrong when I say that. And everything has its curves. They'll get popular again. Somebody will see them in the area. Right now, they're more popular in the Midwest. So, but I would keep a large number just because of that, so I have something to sell when somebody comes. But as the land decreases for houses, we had a decrease in cattle. The 14-acre pasture will always be in pasture, which is out here, straight across from us. This up here and this hayfield will always be in pasture. So those fields will always be open for us to have cattle or goats or chickens on, and donkeys. But yeah, we try. We'll probably end at probably in the 12 to 15 range. Probably won't keep a lot of replacement heifers until, say, out of 5 or 7 cows, we have 4 heifers that year. I'll try to keep some replacements and then let some other cows move on, or whatever, rotate it like that, instead of, like right now I got 2 fantastic heifers down there. We can't show this year because there are some shows going on, but all open shows, which is considered older people. The junior youth shows are still going on. They're going to be held at Raleigh this year. They're raising money. The state fair is not going to help them with that, since the state fair is an entity in itself. The money that it generates pays all the employees. It's not a state, it's state, but it's by itself. So they've had the junior beef roundup, and it was, donations made that. The Mountain State Fair was held this past weekend, and the juniors, not the fair, the livestock junior shows was held. And they're also going to do that at Raleigh also. And the young people's got a lot of money. Well, let me rephrase that. The parents have got a lot of money tied up in these projects. And so they're going to try to see that through the awards or money you win. It will not be like it was. It may be $10, it may be $0, but the kids got to show their projects of what they had. And it's very important to the seniors that's going on to college. They need that as credentials for them to get into college. It's, I say this, and I've seen it growing up. Any of those people, young people that have worked with cattle and actually showed cattle, tend to have higher, not say paying jobs, but higher positions in agriculture. Mr. Neil Bowman, excuse me, he's a very good friend of mine. His counterpart that used to run the Department of Agriculture, and I say as in the livestock division, he was not chair, the agriculture commissioner, but he was in charge of the livestock. He showed cattle. Neil showed sheep, goats, and cattle. He graduated from North Carolina State University in biochemistry. And if he come out here today, y'all would, he'd be in jeans and a cowboy hat, and you wouldn't know he had that position because he'd just be a plain Jane. And he's really a great guy. But anyway, I'm sorry. I see where agriculture is going in this state. And from here, right here, Chatham County, west is going to be more agriculture. Here to the coast, except when you get down into Laurinburg and those flatlands down in that area, and then you go back toward Plymouth, but it's starting to develop very lot up there too. But a lot of farmers in those areas will sell their road frontage, and then they keep on farming behind it. If you go to Plymouth, you'll see that, where those houses and the Walmarts are coming, and they'll have that what do you say, not commerce, but development, just say development. And we have to have development. People keep coming and moving, that's okay. Hey, that's what's paid my job by working here. Thank y'all for coming.
Wonder if you recognize that cat.
No, sir.
Somebody in Briar Chapel took that picture.
Wow. They're here. I've seen them when I've hunted on our farm. I used to have a dog, he's Australian blue heeler, and I carried him hunting with me, deer hunting. I climb up in the stand, he'd clear a place out in the bottom. He would, I didn't tell him to do it, didn't teach him to do it. And I could watch him, his ears would go up, and I could tell if a squirrel, something was coming. And we was at our farm in the back there, and I was sitting on a log, and he was sitting there beside of me. And all of a sudden this bobcat come, probably from here to that copper car back to the sales office, and just sat on that log. And he was dying to go. I mean, I said, you just sit still, don't you move, it's fine. And he sat there seemed like 5 minutes, probably didn't sit there a minute, but it's the first one that I had ever seen in the wild. And that's one thing that drove me to hunting. And I don't do it anymore because I know if I do something like that, my daddy and mom taught me if you do something, then it's got to be processed. And at 62 years old, I don't feel like dragging nothing out. And the sad part about it is some hunters just horn hunt. I've never done that. I've always, if it was anything that we had slaughtered anything, we processed it and we made sure it went somewhere to somebody to eat, to provide food for them. But yes, ma'am.
How did you get started? What is your story? How did you get started with fish? I don't know the story.
Oh, I don't know how many of y'all remember. Y'all remember Mr. Robert Flynn by chance? All right, Mr. Robert Flynn was my immediate first boss here. And we knew Mr. Robert because we raised hogs also, so when they had the barbecue here for the employees and all the people in Chatham County that worked with Fitch, bought stuff or sold stuff, he would have a party every year. And as this place grew and they got the cattle, we'd sold out of the dairy business and I went to work for my wife's brother in the construction business. And I enjoyed it, but I still wanted to do something in livestock or agriculture. And he approached me one day, said, how would you like to go to Louisville with me? I said, yeah, I'd like to do that. I was still working in construction, and I took a couple of days off, and they had bought a heifer locally here from another man that is going to be shown in Louisville at the Nationals. And I have showed cattle since I was in the 5th grade. And I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I was pretty handy with a set of clippers. And if any of you guys like a haircut, I'd be glad to show you how good I am. So he had me, and another young man there was taking care of her, and he said, I want you to carry your clippers with you. And we worked on her. She placed second at the Nationals that year. She went in as a division runner-up because the one they chose for champion division, she was reserve champion division, so she got to go back in for the championship drive. But she would only have a chance at reserve champion, but that was okay. The big honor first time around. And on the way back, he asked me if I would like to work here. I said, let me think about it. I said, he said, we can't hire you at this time to take care of cattle only. We would like for you to work on construction, and that would take care of, build the houses. So I've probably helped build some of y'all's houses. I don't know if ever one, but I've drove a nail or two in my life here. And it's gone on from there. It'll be 22 years, going on 23 this year in February. I've enjoyed every minute of it. Couldn't had a better place to work. And I like it a lot. Mr. Robert's been gone. He passed away in 2012, same year my mom did. My mom died in October and he died in December. So lost two people very close to me. But anyway,
Who made the decision that the cows would be melted Galloways?
that would be Mr. R.B. Fitch and Robert. Actually, y'all know Deneen that works in Dovecote? Yeah. Okay. She was on vacation and she went through Virginia. She come back and she said, Mr. R.B., you have got to get these cows. So R.B. made the decision, and Mr. Robert come and borrowed our gooseneck at the farm down here, and went to Virginia to buy 2 or 3. And the following year, he went to Maine at the national sale and bought some more cattle. So, and we've been breeding our own ever since then. We've bought a few cattle besides what we've raised, but most time we'll be 3 or 4 years that we need a new bloodline or something. We'll buy 1 cow place and try to buy locally if we can, if it fits our bill, type of genetics that we're looking for. Yes, sir.
Tell us about the goats.
The goats, you want to tell me about the goats? We got 11 goats. We got more than that. We got 11 we need to get rid of. And I think, how many's got courtyards? Come on now, I know some of you got to have a courtyard. We could have a surprise visit one morning. You have a nice little additive to your courtyard. Now, it may not be anything in the courtyard to eat once we drop them off. But it's time for them to be adopted. We're gonna put the buck back in end of October. So it's time for the little goats to go on their way. I think several of them have already been adopted, just hadn't left yet. We are gonna move some goats to the back here again. We're gonna turn them in. RB want me to put, as I said, that'd be a good idea. We'll move all the mamas back there and wean the babies off. So we'll probably put them back there about a month or so and then move them back up here. Yes, ma'am.
Do you breed all your cattle naturally, or do you use AI?
We have used AI in the past. Last couple of years, we've used natural service on the cows. It's probably about time to, maybe this year, next, we'll AI again. It'd be time to roll that back around. My cows, I use AI every year. Mr. RB don't care for that all the time. So we keep a bull on premises. And we like to, every cow is not gonna get pregnant by AI service. But it does jump your genetics pretty fast by using AI. You have a variety of bulls that you can pick from instead of one. So.
And are the dun colored as desirable as the black and white?
They are for me. The duns are bigger, they have bigger bone, and they're more hardy. The blacks are close to them, but they're more finer bone. The reds are less. They're even more finer bone, and they get fat quicker, like me. I don't know, I've talked to a lot of breeders with Belted Galloways, and that's what they think too. And I didn't realize about the reds. If the red cattle do not produce a calf every year, they will get extremely fat pretty quick. So I don't know what it is about it, but I mean, that's just the way it is in this breed. Also, the Belted Galloway females are more dominant in this breed. They will change the breed faster than the males will. Most other breeds, you got some strong females in all breeds, don't get me wrong, but when you buy a good bull, he's 50% of your herd automatically. Everything, then you got 30 females. Well, then they're I guess a 30th of the rest of the cows to compare. So the bulls control 50%. But when you go to these I guess what I'm really saying, as far as the belted Galloway bulls, there's not as many of them, so they don't control. It's hard to change it with one bull because you're picking or finding that bull is very hard to find, and when you do, you better have some greenback. In other words, I could go to, let's say Springfield Angus is in North Carolina at Lewisburg, their big Angus operation. He is a numbers man. And when I say numbers, he sells his cattle on numbers. That's what he's based on, his weight gain, his docility. It's a whole array of numbers that goes by. And it's done with a computer. They punch them numbers in of the mama and the daddy. They already have data on those cattle, so they can predict within, especially doing genomic testing now too, what this calf is going to do. Well, we do not have this in the Belty breed. We are a minority breed. We're not an Angus Hereford thing. So that's what and I want to stay a minority. If some producers want to make it more plentiful, well, if we sell a calf here as a belt and she's 6 months old, or say it weaning at 7, we may get $1,500. If I have an Angus heifer that's got decent numbers and I sell it 7 months, I'm gonna get $1,500. So, but if I become the same as the Angus, I won't get that. I won't be able to get that type of money because I'm no longer a novelty. Belty Galloway cattle do not gain weight as fast as Angus or any other of the breeds. They're like the Scottish Highlanders, the Parks, Belty Galloways, and then you got your, I call them mini cattle. You got your Hereford minis, low lines, which are Angus cattle. Those cattle tend to not gain as much weight neither. A lot of people going to the minis because they can have, instead of 1 per 2 1/4 acres or 2 1/2 acres, they can have 3 head to that same amount of acreage. It's like a Holstein grazing grass and a Jersey. The Jersey is going to produce about as much milk, eat a whole lot less than that Holstein. But I like the novelty part of it, and I hope we always stay that way. And I think we will, just because of the weight gain, and we're not keeping numbers and stuff like that to make. I don't say make the cattle better. We are making the cattle better, but it's a whole lot slower process, and a whole lot easier on me not had to do all those numbers all the time. It's fine with me. So, any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Did you ever consider, or did Fitch ever consider having live sheep?
Yes, but they had live sheep here one time, and please don't utter that word. Huh?
I'll help you.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Sheep are, my daughter had sheep, and we showed them, and I got them because she was little, and they was just, in 3 days, she was going out there catching them and putting the halter on, and she was just 4 years old. So, but anyway, I went in there. We had two lambs in the barn. Everything was fine. I went out there next morning. It's dead. Sheep give you no warning. You have no. I got them from my buddy. He said, "Don't worry about it. I got another one. It looks just like that, but she'll never know." But she did because it hadn't been halter broke. But we got another lamb. But he said, "Don't." He said, "It's just the way sheep are." He's constantly trimming feet. And on the goats too, these are pretty good. The Tennessee Fearrington goat's a little more hardy than some of these other goats that you have to continue to trim. And the dairy goats even more. They're more confining. They trimming their feet all the time because they're in such a high feed concentration to produce the milk. Their feet grow also. So, but yes, sir.
How did you get the band of goats? Did somebody locally work on breeding them?
What, the band?
Yeah.
I tell everybody that I figured out how to separate the Angus and Charolais. They laugh at me, see, just like you do. Yes, but maybe I have now. I mean, no, but just cause a cow's got a narrow band, you can breed it to another narrow band bull and it could be wide. It's just, they tell, I talked to a guy in Kentucky and he said the band is the last thing developed in the calf. And I said, all right, I'm not real good on genetics, but I do know when that calf was, I know, take for instance, Australian blue puppies, Australian blues. When they're born, they're snow white. Then the blue starts coming. It may be the other way with red murals and all murals dogs in the world, I don't know. But they're born snow white, and in I think a couple weeks, they start bluing. I didn't argue with the guy because I didn't know for sure, but it don't make sense to me that band was developed the last thing, but it could be. I can't argue because I don't know. But it's sort of like the Tennessee fainting goats. They say it's a chemical reaction in the brain that makes them faint. But I've also heard that it's a muscle around the blood supply vein that's going to the brain also. So I don't know which one it is, but I do know they faint. They do faint. Duke University has some of these same goats, and they do experiments with them because people have the same, they have the same chemical reaction, or so it can't be necessarily a blood vein. I wouldn't think they could solve that. They cut the muscle, so it's probably more of a chemical reaction, and they just pass out just like the goats do. So they've been working on that for several years, and may have something by now. I don't know. Yes, ma'am. You had a question, Miss Deb.
So tell us one of your funniest stories with the cows that you remember. I'm sure there's just a few.
Well, I won't tell you the one here, but I'll tell you one when I was milking cows. We always, we milked 300 dairy cows adjacent to this dairy, which is Stroud Brothers and Sons Dairy Farm, just right down the road here. It's not a sign up there now on the Mount Yee Church Road. My dad and uncle was in together, and we was in till 1995 we sold out. We milked 300 cows twice a day. This is a job that you get pooted on and peed on literally 2 times a day. The cows are here. We had a herring barn, and the cows would be standing right here. All you do is reach in and slide the milker on and go on. And we was always cut up in the barn. John, which is chief at North Chatham over here, is my first cousin. And Mike owns half of Mapleview Dairy. He's the only one that stayed in the dairy business. But we also had 2 herdsmen that milked for us, and we rotated every other weekend to milk. And his son helped him. But anyway, we had to figure out that everybody could take off a weekend every other weekend. So I was in the barn milking, and the guy that I was helping, we was cutting up. And I was just laughing, and I turned, and when I turned, a cow had done her business. And my mouth was wide open. And thank goodness we had water hoses, because I just went, ah. So I can literally say I've had it in my mouth. And that's really my initials are BS, okay? Some lady was talking, I can't remember, lady at the back, she wanted we could introduce quail, but we got a family of foxes that stay at the warehouse down there in the hay bales. And but you look at the rabbit population here, it's growing leaps and bounds. Yeah. And the more rabbits we have, the more foxes and coyotes we're probably gonna have.
What about coyotes?
We have a few, well, like I said, I lived over here on AT&T Road, and when the fire trucks would go off, I could step on the front porch and I could count 7 different packs, starting to my left and go all the way around and count 7. Now, how many is in the pack? It could be 2. And so,
You hear them at night.
Sir?
You said you hear them at night?
Yeah, if I was told on how true it is, when they start yapping, they have just made a kill. When they're letting all the other coyotes know that don't come in this turf, this is ours, this is our meal. But I don't know how true it is, but that's what I heard. Yes, ma'am.
What's the process on adopting the goats?
go see Kibi at the bookstore and sign up. And so they sell something, I don't think about $35 they sign up for. Why, you got a granddaughter or a grandson?
So do you work 7 days a week?
Sometimes. During breeding season, calving season, I do.
But like, so for feeding them, do you come here every day?
No, I come here every day, yes, to feed them. But not on Sundays, I don't. A lot of times, I don't. But I need to this past Sunday because I need to move some cattle around. Everything don't get feed here every day. These cattle in the back don't, but they get checked every day. These get fed. It's like this. RP has complained that feed bill's a little high. I said, yes, sir, it is. I said, do you want fat cows or skinny cows? I mean, really, if I had skinny cows up front and somebody come to do weddings, them cows don't look good. They don't look healthy. So I prefer not fat. I prefer them with a normal weight instead of being fat. But if they're fat, they do look prettier. So.
Do you ever wash them?
Only when I show them.
Okay, because a couple of times I thought they looked really clean.
Well, that's because I got the showers on up here right now. And if I didn't have the showers on, they'd make a mud hole. And they still got a mud hole.
I know.
But they get washed off. But if I didn't have those showers going, that's the reason somebody said, those cows got too many flies. I said, I'm sorry. If I spray them with fly spray, then they're gonna go straight to that water and gonna wash it off. I said, that is their fly spray right now. They can go underneath where the flies to dissipate from them and they get some relief. Any more questions?
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.